and welcome back to the Yogi. I'm Julia, your yoga instructor for arthritis, and today's video is all about the fall equinox. September 22nd marks the first day of fall. During the fall equinox, we have this beautiful day of balanced light and darkness. It's a really good time for us to ground in meditation or yoga practice because of this time of transition, transformation. I'll be guiding you through 7 yoga poses to ground for the root chakra, which is found at the base of the spine, housing your sense of safety, of stability. You have the option to use a supportive chair and your yoga mat, or to add on and have a little bit of curiosity and fun with this class by adding 2 more chairs, a folded blanket or 2 folded blankets if you have, and a yoga strap. So let's begin by centering in together. Slide forward so your 2 sit bones are grounded and firmly planted on the edge of your seat. Take a full deep breath through the nose and then exhale completely. Inhale. And on your exhale, close your eyes. Continue to observe the breath as it flows in and out of the body. Inhale to fill the lungs with air. And exhale to release any stress or tension from the body, from the mind. As we move together through this practice, let's focus on rooting down through the edges of our feet, becoming aware of where we are rooted on our yoga mat, on the floor, on the earth, wherever you are. A blocked root chakra is anxious, insecure, unstable, ungrounded, and unsure. A balanced root chakra is safe, is secure, is centered and grounded. An overactive root chakra is greedy, aggressive, materialistic, and overexerting of power. These energies that we're going to tap into today of the root chakra help us to feel connected to the earth, help us to feel grounded. Listen to your inner guide, listen to your body, and notice what feels right, or what feels good, and what doesn't. You can gently float open your eyes, and we'll begin this physical practice. Make sure that your feet are moving forward so there's less pressure on the knees. And now I want you to feel the feet, the soles of the feet. Gently come up to the toes if that's available to you, the balls of the feet. And notice what that feels like in the body. Very gently. Breathe in. And then gently send the heels back down to the floor or your mat. And gently lift the toes off the floor if that's available to you. And simply notice the body, the muscles activated, your posture, and then gently release the ball of your foot back down and the toes. Gently come to the edges of the outside edges of your feet and notice what that feels like in the body. You can slowly come back to center and then start to move to the inward edges of the feet and notice what that feels like in the body. And notice how our body is connected from the feet, ankles, knees, and hips all the way up to our postural muscles. Simply notice, and when you're ready, bring the feet back to center and notice the alignment from the hips, knees, and middle toes. Breathe in and ground to all four edges of the feet. And exhale completely. Inhale, your arms by your sides, palms facing forward in mountain pose, Tadasana. This is a foundational pose for all standing postures, and in this case, our seated posture series. Spread the fingers wide and lengthen the spine all the way to the crown of the head. Rooting through the feet, take a few breaths in Tadasana. In and out through the nose. You can close your eyes. Moving inward with our practice today. Gently float open the eyes. And from mountain, we'll take chair pose, seated. You have the option to send the big toes together and gently squeeze the inner thighs together if that's comfortable for you, creating a lock through the center of the body. If it's more comfortable to have the feet shoulder width apart, you can walk out the feet so they're shoulder width apart. Listen to what feels good in your body. On our next inhale, reach the arms overhead, squeezing gently the inner thighs, coming into chair pose. Slightly leaning forward, pulling the belly in and up. If this doesn't feel good for the shoulders, you can slowly send your hands down in front of the heart in whatever way feels comfortable for you. And take a few mindful breaths, continuing to pull in the energy, pull it in from the big toes all the way up through the legs, the inner thighs, the core, and reach through the fingertips. Take 3 more full breaths in chair pose. Inhale in Utkatasana. Aligning the shoulders, the hips, knees, and ankles. Developing our core strength as we breathe in and out. Building heat in the body. On your exhale, send your hands to heart center if they're not already there. And slowly come back to a seated position with the feet shoulder width apart. You can come back into mountain, placing the arms by your sides with your palms facing forward. Or gently rest the hands in your lap. One-legged stretch. Modified Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. But we will not be bringing our head to our knees. we will be focusing on the alignment and the essence of this pose together in a new and modified way. So the first variation that I'd like us to take today will either be to sit down in your chair and gently extend the right leg in front of you, flexing the toes towards you. So I know you can't see my toes, but flexing the toes towards you, keeping the heel on the ground. Breathing in and extending the spine nice and long, and then very slowly, keeping a micro bend in that right knee, gently leaning forward with a long spine. You can rest your hands on your thighs, on your hips, and we're coming into the essence of the pose without coming into a twist, because in the classical pose, there is a bit of a twist to come into this pose. But we're using the essence of the pose to stretch the back of the leg, to open the chest and the shoulders, and breathe. You can keep your head in line with your spine, gazing down at your flexed toes. And when you're ready, you can come back up. So you'll take this variation and we'll move it to the other side as well. And then I'll show the other options. And you can come back to the option that feels best for you for this pose today. Lengthen and extend the left leg long, flexing the toes towards you. Breathe in. And as you exhale, lengthen the spine and gently hinge forward, very mindfully, keeping a micro bend in this left knee, feeling the stretch in the back of the hamstring and the calf. And we're gazing down towards the flexed toes to relax the shoulders and the head. And we'll breathe here for a few breaths, taking whichever hand variation feels best for the hands. I know since the cold weather has come, I've been feeling a lot more difficulty with my joints of the hands. So just be mindful and try not to overwork the hands today if they're feeling flared up. And if you're ready, you can lengthen the spine to come back up and bring your left leg to meet your right. We will also take another option for this pose with the use of 2 other chairs. So take your time to stand up slowly. If you feel like standing up, to get your chair set up. And I'm going to place one of my chairs facing sideways so you can see what this will look like. And we have some props here, a blanket and a strap. And we just might use, I will show you from this angle first. So we're going to place a chair to the side of the chair and in front, like this. And you can adjust as you go. Maybe you're taller or shorter. It really depends on your height. And we'll go from here. So what we're going to do, first of all, is sit down and have the props handy. You can always lay them over the top of your chair until you need them. And what we have here is the setup to be able to rest our right leg out to the side and send our left leg in extension. So you want to sit up nice and tall, and if this is not comfortable for your leg, you can absolutely adjust and notice what feels best, maybe using a rolled blanket or a bolster underneath. And we'll set up with our strap. So lengthening the spine, making sure that your 2 sit bones are grounded. We'll send our strap over our left foot, the ball of the left foot, flexing the toes towards you and keeping a micro bend in the knee. Breathing in, lengthening, and then gently moving from our groin, feeling a nice stretch as we move forward gently. Moving from our groin, we're not focusing on hinging forward from the hips this time. We're lengthening the spine and we're moving from the groin in this pose. And we're going to keep our body upright. Breathe in and breathe out. Gazing at the flexed toes, inhale. Lengthen the spine and exhale. So this is our second option for the pose. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. Make sure if you have a knee injury, have a micro bend in the knee, and you can also add more support. Continue to relax your right hip as it opens with gravity. Keep lengthening the spine as you breathe. When you're ready, you can slowly sit up. We're going to take our time to remove the strap and gently give yourself some assistance to bend the front knee, and then slowly send your right knee back to center. We'll be doing this on the other side. In order for us to not have to move around the chair so much, you always have the option to switch sides and come to the opposite chair. And this way, we'll be doing the left side. So take your time. You can send your left leg to the side and use a support like a rolled blanket or a cushion to place underneath the knee, and maybe even underneath the foot, whatever feels good to you. And then slowly send your right leg out in front of you, keeping a micro bend in the knee. Sitting up nice and tall. Place the strap around the ball of the foot, flexing the toes towards you and holding either side of your strap. Breathe in to lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, move from the groin. So gently moving forward, allowing yourself to breathe and rest. Flexing both of your feet. Inhale and exhale. There is a slight twist to the right leg from the hips because we are turning the hips to face the right leg. So there is a nice gentle twist there. We're breathing in, lengthening the spine, and exhaling to gently move forward with the groin. Hold it here for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, you can gently, slowly come up with your strap, and we'll move with our front leg, bending the knee and sending it down to the earth for balance. And then you can help your left knee to come back to center. And just notice how you feel for a moment. We'll be keeping our strap and our blanket nearby. And we're going to set up our chairs so we have two chairs. Coming into mountain, our first pose. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale and exhale. You can gently turn your knees out to the sides and the feet out to the sides, coming into yogic squat on your chair, Muladhara. You can see the toes are pointing out to the sides, creating space for the hips. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Exhale, hands to center. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. And breathe out. You're welcome to stay right here in yogic squat, or send your arms to the insides of both legs. And with a nice long spine, you can send the inside of your forearms to your inner thighs and gently drop the head, making sure that you're grounded on your chair so you're not falling forward. You can adjust by sliding back on your chair a little bit, grounding both sit bones and then coming forward. The last thing to gently fall forward is the head. Breathe in, open the palms, and exhale through the mouth. Breathe in, and exhale through the mouth. On your next inhale, gently place the hands to the thighs, and you can slowly heel toe your feet back to center. Beautiful. Now that we've taken our yogic squat, we'll come into wide-legged forward fold. I like to do this pose in two ways, either with two chairs on either side in front of you, so that way you can place one leg on this chair and the other leg on this chair and have the legs a bit wider, and then gently lengthen and fold slightly forward, having the options of adding the two chairs, or you can stand up for this practice using a second chair for support in front of you without the props. So just moving them over to the side just for a minute, and make sure that your feet are going to come onto a mat to really grip a surface like your yoga mat. We'll have our chair in front of us, and very, very mindfully start to lean forward, coming to your forearms and making sure that you're gently holding onto the chair. And you're going to lift your bum off of your chair behind you and start to widen the legs gently. It doesn't have to be very far. If this is uncomfortable because there's a chair underneath you, you can slowly move your front chair forward so you're no longer touching the sides of your chair with your inner legs. And then just relax your head. And we're coming into wide-legged forward fold, and this is almost like a halfway lift. We're still focusing on rooting down through the four edges of the feet. You can rest your forehead on the top of your chair if that's comfortable, if it's soft enough. And just lengthen the spine and breathe, keeping a micro bend in both knees. Soften your upper body. There's no weight in the hands. There's no weight in the wrists. We're on our forearms, and we're focusing on grounding down through those four edges of the feet. Breathe in. Pull the belly in and up with your exhale. On your next inhale, very slowly bend your knees and slowly find the chair behind you. And you can walk the hands back up with a nice long spine, moving your chair off to the side just for a moment. Heel toe the feet back to center and find Mountain Tadasana. Take a few mindful breaths before we come into a counter pose, which balances our previous pose. Since we were in a forward fold, we'll be taking a gentle back bend. You have the option here to go hands-free. So if you have any pain in the hands or swelling of the joints in the hands or the wrists, There's no need to put additional weight or pressure on them. You can come into a simple and gentle back bend, taking the hands, just placing them very gently to the lower back, pointing the elbows behind you, and slowly lift the heart and the chin, coming into a back bend. Staying here and sending the breath into the belly, diaphragm, and the chest, and reversing the flow of our breath. You can keep your head in line with the spine if that's more comfortable for you, or gently send the chin up towards the sky. Very gently to gaze where the ceiling and the wall meet in front of you. Not to overextend the neck. And gently you can come back to center and release the hands, and maybe do a few circles with the wrists to one side and the other, and shake out the fingers. If you're coming to put some weight into the hands, know that we're going to take a bit of that weight off with our legs. So you have the option to take your hands to either side of your chair or behind you with your fingertips facing forward, and making sure that you're gently squeezing the shoulder blades together. I feel more supported when I have both my hands to the sides, but you can decide for yourself. We're going to breathe in, coming into reverse tabletop. Reverse tabletop is also known as crab pose. It's a chest opener, and it tones and stimulates the lower back, respiratory system, and endocrine system. You're going to breathe in, press through the feet, lift the hips, holding to either side of your chair, and gently drop the head back if that's comfortable for you. Squeeze the glutes, keep pressing equally through both of your feet. And when you're ready, you can gently take your glutes back to your seat and slide all the way back into a mini Shavasana. Resting the palms facing up in your lap, allowing the legs to relax out to the sides, or you have the option to keep the knees bent with your feet planted. You're always welcome to rest in a mini Shavasana anytime during your yoga practice, especially during a chair yoga practice. If you're feeling extra fatigued, if you feel like just backing off for a minute, there is nothing wrong with that. You can go further into relaxation. And we'll take one more posture before we come into our final meditation and closing. Tree pose. Tree pose is one of my favorite root chakra poses, hence the name tree. It definitely has its roots. So we'll slowly move forward to the front of our chair. And we have the option to take this seated, of course. We have the option to create a kickstand with our right heel to the inside of our left leg, making sure that our knee is in line with our middle toe, and we're opening up the right hip and the right knee. You can otherwise take your right knee into your chest and place it on top of your thigh, if that's available to you, or you also have the option to use your chair and send it in front of you for some support, or a block lower down if that's more comfortable for you. So just listen to your body, because your body really does know best. So wherever you are, whether you are taking the kickstand option, or whether you're taking your right leg over your left thigh or to a chair, whatever feels best for you at this point, breathe in and exhale, taking your right arm overhead. And breathe in and out. You have the option to send both of your arms up like the branches of a tree. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head and the fingertips. Option to take both of the hands together and gently lift the chin. And exhale, send your hands back down in front of your heart. Release your right hand to come underneath the right knee and slowly send the right leg back down. We'll take the opposite side and sending your left leg on top of the right thigh or on top of a chair, whichever feels better for you. If you have a block, you can also place a high block so it's not as high for you to send your foot to, the side of your left foot to, and we'll focus on a nice tall posture in whichever variation suits you best right now. Breathe in, breathe out. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. Send your left arm overhead, growing the branches of your tree. You have the option to send your right arm as well up to the sky and breathe for a few mindful breaths in your tree pose. Tree pose helps us to improve our balance and stability in our legs and our torso. It helps us to achieve balance in other aspects of life. Inhale, hands together if that's available to you. Gaze up gently with the chin. And exhale, send the hands down right in front of the heart center. When you're ready, send your left arm down underneath your left knee and slowly assist with both hands to send your leg back down to the floor. We'll take our time to find Shavasana, final relaxation, and which one serves you best today. Whether you want to sit all the way back in your chair with the feet down on the earth or out to the sides, open with the palms facing up, or take your time to move your chair to whichever level feels most comfortable for you, and take some time to send a rolled blanket maybe underneath the knees, if that's available to you. And when you're ready, allow the palms to relax and the lower back to relax in your chair. Breathe in and breathe out completely. Close your eyes and bring your attention to the base of your spine. Your root chakra, your Muladhara in Sanskrit. The color is a deep red. Visualize a red light of energy in that space, helping to balance the inherently cool, dry, light, and mobile qualities of the fall season with grounding. Repeat this affirmation silently for the next few moments. I am rooted. I am safe, secure, and supported. I am rooted. I am safe, secure, and supported. I am rooted. I am safe, secure, and supported. As you continue to repeat this affirmation, allow yourself to be even more supported by your props, by your chair, and relax the body. If the affirmation begins to change a little bit, that's no problem. Simply continue to repeat the affirmation for the next few moments in Shavasana. Breathe in. I am rooted. I am safe, secure, and supported. And exhale. Let go of your affirmation and release the air through the mouth. And gently, you can come back to your natural breath. And simply notice how you feel. You can take as much time as you'd like in final relaxation. And when you're ready, gently start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bringing awareness back to the movements of our bodies. And send your arms gently overhead and point the toes. Full body stretch, reach up, and gently release the arms back down. Take your time to come out of your final relaxation, bending one knee at a time, to come back down. And we'll come slowly to the edge of our chair if we're closing our practice together today. We will close this practice by chanting Om, the universal mantra of oneness. Breathe in for our mantra Om. Inhale. You can gently open the eyes once again and send your hands to heart center. You can take a moment to look at all of the people that you shared this practice with virtually from afar. Even though you might not be able to see all of them, they're here with you. I'm here with you. And I thank you so much for joining me for today's practice for fall equinox. And I look forward to seeing you again soon for another practice. Namaste.